Hello everyone, welcome to my class. Today we're going to talk about one of the most fundamental and useful grammars about Chinese, which is tenses. In English, there is present tense, past tense, and future tense, and most of the changes apply to the verbs. However, in Chinese, there is no change on the verbs. Then how to express different tenses? Before we go into different tenses, we're going to talk about what's the most basic structures of present tense that can be used for the majority of the cases. Again, if you find this video helpful, please subscribe it, click that like button, and share it with your friends and families, and leave your comments below. Let's jump into the class today. So the first part we're going to talk about is the present tense structure. That's the most commonly used structure in Chinese. The first element we're going to mention here is time. So by time here, we mean the spot time instead of duration of times. So what does spot time mean? Spot time, for example, 什么时候 when, or what time 几点 or weekend 周末 for example, 这周末你做什么 This weekend, what's your plan? What are you up to? So here, time has to be spot time. For example, 2点2 p.m. or 今天明天昨天后天今天 today 明天 tomorrow 昨天 yesterday 后天 the day after tomorrow or 今天早上 this morning 中午 noon afternoon 下午 or in the evening or at night, 晚上, etc. So all of the spot times that you can think of, you can put it here. Next class, we're going to talk about duration of time. The usage of duration of time is slightly different with the spot time here. Okay, and then the second element we're going to talk about is the location phrase. So by location phrase, here we mean either there are two cases. First one, it could be 在, which means in or at, or 去, which means to go to somewhere, plus a location. So either 在 plus a location or 去 plus a location. That means a location phrase. So by the meaning, you can see whether it is in or at a place or to go somewhere can be used in this type of cases. For example, 在家 at home, 去办公室 to go to the office, 在办公室 at office, 去公司 to go to the company, 在公司 at the company, 去学校 to go to school, at school, 在学校 etc. So usually we use either 在 means to be at or in somewhere, or 去 to go somewhere. There is a special case in terms of to go home. We don't use 去, we use 回家 means to go back home or to return to home. So we usually use 回家 instead of 去家. Now let's have a look at a few examples. First one, 你今天想去哪儿？今天 today, 想 to want to do something, 去哪儿 to go where. So it means where do you want to go today? Next one. 你明天想做什么？明天 sorry, there is a tone here. First tone. 明天 means tomorrow. 想 again to want to do something. 做 to do something. 什么 what? 你明天想做什么？ What do you want to do tomorrow? Next one. 我明天想去电影院看电影。It's a longer sentence. 我明天想去电影院。A place, a location phrase here, right? 去电影院 to go to the cinema. 看电影 to watch a movie. Tomorrow, I want to go to a cinema to watch a movie. 我明天想去电影院看电影。Next one. 你星期一几点去公司？星期一 is also a time here, means Monday. 几点 what time? 去公司 to go to the company. So 你星期一几点去公司 means what time are you going to the company on Monday? Last one. 你每天几点起床？每天 means every day. 几点 again what time? 起床 to get up. So 你每天几点起床 means what time do you get up every day? Okay, now we're going to talk about continuous present. So we just learned the structure of present sentences, and now what if it's a continuous present? Like I'm studying, I'm working, I'm eating dinner, etc. So let's have a look at the formula here. Still, it starts with the subject, and then plus an optional 现在. 现在 means right now. 现在. But it's optional, just like when you say I'm eating dinner right now, but you don't have to say the right now. You can also say I'm eating dinner. And then 在 plus 在. 在 here is a very important structural word here. Means I am doing something. This 在 plays a role of the ing attached to a verb in English. And then verb, object. So the difference of the continuous tense between Chinese and English is that in English, usually there is a variation on the verbs. For example, majority of the verbs will be attached with an ing. Instead of that, in Chinese, we add this 在. Let's have a look at a few examples. First one, 你在做什么? What are you doing? 你在做什么? 在 is the structural word here. Means the ing. 你在做什么? What are you doing? 我在工作呢. The reason there is an optional 呢 here is it's a unique language point for continuous tense. Usually people end the sentence with the 呢 for continuous tense, but it's optional. You can add it or go without it. 我在工作呢. I'm working. 工作 to work. 在工作 working. I'm working. Next one. 我在家做饭呢. 在家 if you want to add a location, no problem. Just use if you mean to be in or at a place, just use the 在 plus a location. But next one, 我在家做饭呢. Here, as you can see, this 在家 is actually a location phrase at home. And then there's no extra 在 as the structural word. So here is a language point that for the continuous tense, if in the continuous tense sentence you add a location as in or at somewhere, you just use the 在 plus location, and then they can share the 在 as the structural 在. So there's no need to add another 在 in this sentence. We just say 我在家做饭呢. Adding this 呢 just means it's a continuous tense. I am making meals or making dinners at home. Next one, 我现在在打电话. 现在 means right now, and 在 is the structural word of continuous tense. So that means I am calling right now. I'm making a call right now. 我现在在打电话. Now we're going to learn the second part, which is the simple past or perfect tense. It is very easy. Basically, you just need to add a le after the verb or at the end of the sentence. First one, for example, 你吃饭了吗? Here is the le. 吃饭 means to eat meal. You plus a le, then that means past tense. So 你吃饭了吗 means did you eat? Or perfect tense, have you eaten? Next one, 你这周末做什么了? 这周末 this weekend. 了 past tense. So 你这周末 this weekend 做什么了? What did you do this weekend? Let's see the possible answers. Answer number one. Answer number one. 我和朋友去买东西了. 和朋友. 和 plus someone means to be with someone. 和朋友 just means with friends. 去买东西了. 买东西 买 means to buy. 东西 stuff. 买东西 means to go shopping. 我和朋友去买东西了. I went shopping with my friends. Second, 我和同事去爬山了. 同事 means colleagues. 和同事 with colleagues. 去爬山了. 爬山 go hiking. 了 past tense. So I went hiking with my colleagues. Next one. 我在家学汉语了. Very easy, right? This one. I studied Chinese at home. So basically, past tense and perfect tense, they all come with this structural word, 了. It's generally very easy. The third part is the complicated version of past tense. It's the past tense that focuses on either time, place, or means. So let's have a look at the difference between this type of past tense and the simplified past tense we just talked about. So let's have a look at the formula first. It starts with a subject plus either time or a place or means, and then plus a verb, and then plus the. So the here is the important structural word for this type of past tense. That's like a symbol for the past tense. Let's have a look at the examples to make it easier to understand. First one, 你几点到北京的? When did you arrive in Beijing? 几点 here is time. 到 means to arrive. 北京的. So this 的 can be attached right after the verb or at the end of the sentence. In this case, the appears at the end of the sentence. Or you can also say 你几点到的北京? That also works. When did you arrive in Beijing? So this 的 means it is a past tense. Second example, 你在哪儿买的这件衣服？在哪儿 is a place, right? Where? At where? 买的 买 means to buy something. 的 is the structural word here. 这件衣服 means this clothes, this piece of clothes. If you are not familiar with the counting unit, please have a look at the video before talking about counting units in Chinese. So this means, where did you buy this piece of clothes? So 的 means it is a past tense, focusing on a location or a place. 在哪儿 where? Okay, next one. 你怎么来香港的？你怎么来香港的？怎么 here means how. So 怎么 is a typical question qualifier to ask about means. So this is our third example. Means 怎么 how. 来香港的means it's a past tense. 来 means to come. 香港 Hong Kong. So 你怎么来香港的 means how did you come to Hong Kong? So if someone asks you this question, the answer should be, oh, I came here by bus, by ship, by plane, right? So let's have a look at the answer. 我坐飞机来香港的. Here, 坐飞机 means to take a plane. To take a plane. If you're not familiar with transportations in Chinese, then you can refer to the video travel language package. So in that video, we talked about travel languages, transportations thoroughly. So you can refer to that. 我坐飞机来香港的. 来 means to come. So that means I came to Hong Kong by plane. I came to Hong Kong by plane. In the next part, we're going to talk about the future tense. Future tense is very easy and it involves two key words. The first one is 要. It is also a structural word here. It's also an opinion verb as well. Means going to do something or will to do something. So let's have a look at the formula here. It starts with the subject and then plus 要. Going to do something, will to do something, and then plus the verb, the real action that you are going to do. Let's have a look at the example. 你要去哪儿？你要去哪儿？ Where are you going? Where are you going? 我要去法国旅行。去 plus somewhere plus 旅行 means to take a trip to somewhere. 去法国旅行 means to go to France for a trip. And here there is the 要 means I'm going to do something. I will do something. So I'm going to France for a trip. Next one. 你要在法国住几天？你要在法国住几天？要 here means it's a future tense. 在法国 is a location phrase in France. 住 means to stay in somewhere or at somewhere. 几天, how many days, is a duration of time. So one differentiation of a duration of time and a spell time is that a duration of time always come at the last. So 几天 means how many days. 你要在法国住几天? How many days are you going to stay in France? How many days are going to stay in France? Next one. 我要在法国住一周。要在法国 in France 住一周 to stay 一周 also is a duration of time 1 week. So 我要在法国住一周 means I will stay in France for a week. The second part of the future tense is about 会. 会, we previously learned this character as in can, C-A-N, or be able to do something. And if you're not familiar with 会 as in can, please refer to my previous video, and there's also a differentiation in that video clip to explain the differences between 会and 能, as they both mean can or be able to do something. So 会, the same character, the same pronunciation here also plays a role as a structural word for future tense as well. Then what's the difference between 要 we just mentioned? So 要 in terms of future tense, it means a willingness of a person to do something. So it means that you plan to do something, you're going to do something. But 会 here is more for the occasions that something it is out of your control but will happen. So let's have a look at the formula first before we have a look at the examples to understand it more. It starts with subject and then plus 会 and then plus a verb. Very easy. The usage is exactly the same as 要. Example number 1. 明天会下雨吗? 会 here means well 下雨 to rain. 明天会下雨吗? Will it rain tomorrow? Next one. 明天不会下雨. 不会 is the negative form of will. It's won't. So no, it won't rain tomorrow. 明天不会下雨. Next one. 他下周会来吗? 下周 next week 会 will 来 come. So will she come next week? 她下周会来吗? Let's see the answer. 她下周会来. Yes, she will come next week. And the last part, we're going to talk about continuous perfect tense. So continuous perfect tense involves a very important concept, which is the duration of time. Duration of time always comes at the end. That's is the rule here. Always comes in at the end. And first, we're going to explain what is a duration of time. Here are some examples. For example, 一天, one day is a duration of time, right? It's a whole day. It's not like a date. For example, today is May the 25th. 5月25号, that is a spell time. But if we say one day, 一天, then that is a duration of time. 2个小时. 个 is the counting unit here. Again, if you're not familiar with counting unit, please refer to my previous video to get to know what is counting unit. 小时 means hour. 2个小时 means 2 hours. It's also a duration of time. Next one, 3个星期 or 3周。星期 and 周 both mean week, and 个 here is a counting unit, so 3个星期 means 3 weeks, same as 3周。Next one, 4个月，个 counting unit, 月 month, so 4个月 4 months. Next one, 5年 5 years. All of those examples are duration of time. Okay, let's look at some examples here, like how to use it. Before we jump into the example, just a quick reminder, for the perfect tense, we also need to use the le, right? The le can be attached to the verb or appear at the end, at the very end. So let's have a look. 你来香港多长时间了？多长时间 here. It is a very key question qualifiers for asking a duration of time. Means how long in terms of time. In terms of time. So as we said, duration of time comes at the end, so that's how it appears here. But this le appears at the very end. So 多长时间 le means it is a continuous perfect tense. 你来香港多长时间了？ How long have you been in Hong Kong? So as you notice here, there's no been. The equivalent of been in Chinese. We still use 来 means to come. However, by adding 多长时间 and then this 了, it is a continuous perfect tense. How long have you been in Hong Kong? Second, 我来香港2年了. So have a guess what it means. 2年 here is also duration of time, 2 years and 了. So that means I have been in Hong Kong for 2 years. Next one, 你学中文多长时间了? This is a question for you. 你学中文多长时间了? How long have you been studying Chinese? You can answer me in the comments below. Let me know how long you have been learning Chinese. For example, if you have been learning Chinese for 1 year, how would you say it? 我学中文1年了. So please reply in Chinese just to practice and leave the comments below. That's all for today. I hope the video is helpful for your Chinese learning, and if you find it helpful, please subscribe it and smash the like button, share it with your friends and family, and leave your comments below. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye bye.